All right, guys, I wanted to go over the writing assignments with you. This video is going to have the PowerPoints for both writing options. You should watch all the way through and decide which assignment you want to do, which is the most appropriate for you. So you're going to have two choices with the second quarter writing assignment. You have video instructions for both in this one video. One assignment is geared towards for those of you going to college. Others are for the other assignment is more business related. You're welcome to do either assignment, but if you know you're going to need a college application essay, you may want to focus on that one because you would essentially be killing two birds with one stone. You can write the essay and use it later on when you apply to college. So make sure you read the instructions for both assignments. Make sure you pay attention to this video. The first assignment is the college application essay. Now both of these assignments are for 100 points. They are both due no later than October the 30th, which is next Friday. So you have almost 2 weeks to do this, but you will have other assignments posted next week. So I suggest you not dilly-dally and you go ahead and get this done. Okay, so the first one is college application essay. This essay is one that you can use, you may be able to use for the essay portion of your college application. Colleges are relying more on personal writing for admissions than in previous years. And this way you can write the essay and get some feedback on it. So your requirements are that this actually should be 400, and I'll change it in the PowerPoint, but 400 to 650 words. Do not go over 650. Okay, anything more than that gets a little long. It needs to be in MLA format. Include a title page, and you can go to Purdue OWL. That's Purdue University's online writing lab. They have a great website that helps you with all types of essay and writing formatting. But you're using MLA formatting, which is essentially 1-inch margins all the way around, 12 point Times New Roman font, no bold, no colors, no cutesy, 12 point Times New Roman. Double space your paragraphs, no extra spacing between paragraphs. Only use underlines where you need to. So for if there's a technical purpose for using it, then use it. You should not type in italics unless you need italics. Say, for example, the title of a book should be in italics. Nothing should be in bold, not even headings. Make sure it's double space. Indent your paragraphs using the tab key. Do not use the space bar for tabs. And that is on, or for indentions or for formatting in any way. And that applies to anything you type. The tab key will automatically space over 5 spaces, which is a proper indent. Do not use the space bar. And if you happen to cite any sources outside, from outside works, you need to make sure that you include a works cited page, and Purdue OWL can help you with the MLA format for that. All right, you must write using formal language. You may not use slang, informal terms, or text speak. Minimal use of first person pronouns. So I, me, my. This particular assignment is about you, so you can use them, but just make it sparingly. You don't want every sentence to start out with I. Use proper grammar, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and make sure you respond completely to the prompt that you choose. All right. You should write or type a rough draft first. Have somebody read over it for you to assist you in making your paper better. This gives you a chance to improve your grade. I am going to be looking at grammar, spelling, sentence structure. If you tend to ramble when you write, which means you write a lot of long run-on sentences, or you write a lot of really short sentences, you need to have somebody proofread it for you. You can also use PaperRater, paperrater.com. You can upload your paper and it will help you edit. Word also has a new editor built in, and if you click on the right-hand side of your screen in the Word document, you should see that there, and also Grammarly. These can all help you improve your paper. So here are the prompt options, and I'm not going to read these out loud because you have them in front of you. You also have a paper copy of this that you can download if you need it. So you're going to pick one of these 5 topics, and you're going to write a 400 to 650 word essay. You must answer all parts of the prompt. I should know from your introductory paragraph which prompt you're responding to. Make sure you have a thesis statement. So I need to, so that I can tell what your paper is going to be about. Proper introduction, proper body structure, proper conclusion. And if you need help with essay writing because you've forgotten the things that you've been taught since 5th grade, let me know and I will get you some resources. Your final draft is due turned into Teams by October 30th. If you do not have it in by 11:59 on October 30th, you will lose points because I'm giving you almost 2 weeks to do it. Or actually, I'm giving you 2 weeks. Don't wait until the last minute to ask me for help. That's not going to get you an extension. This is a 100-point assignment. You can't afford to not do this one or to get a really low grade on it. It will kill your grade for the semester. So ask for help when you need it. Don't wait until the last minute. And I don't want to hear any excuses unless you are legitimately sick with a doctor's note or there's a death in the family or something else that would be a legitimate excused absence. There will not be any extensions on this. Okay, your next assignment is writing for business. All right, so you have 2 project options. You have 2 project options in this one. Okay, so when you're writing for business, this requires you to write in a specific format. So it also requires clear organization, clear writing, formal language, proper grammar. The only jargon and that you should use should be related to the industry that you're writing about. But make sure it's leveled for your audience. So, for example, if you're writing a medical report, let's say you're an actual doctor and you're writing a medical report, but that medical report is going to the patient, you don't want to use a lot of medical terms that a patient wouldn't understand. So you make sure whatever terms related to the industry that you use are geared to the audience that you're writing for. So think about, is it an internal audience, an external audience? Is the person you're writing for knowledgeable or uneducated about the industry? Are they a professional or an amateur? So if you're a professional photographer, you wouldn't want to write a how-to guide for amateur photographers and use a bunch of language that they didn't understand. So make sure you pay attention to the vocabulary that you use. Make sure that you stick to the purpose. And it's appropriately organized for the purpose for which you're writing. Some types of business writing are letters, emails, proposals, grants, reports, business plans, technical analysis. There are lots of things. Medical reports, case laws, these are all industry specific types of, these are examples. Medical reports, case law, analysis, stock reports, literary critiques, charitable grant proposals, profit and loss reports, new business feasibility studies. That just means, is it a good idea to start a new business? Scientific peer reviews, environmental impact statements, technical notes, and I have a typo there, editorials, executive summary, scouting reports, and sports. Those of you that are athletes probably are familiar with that. So you have different types of report writing or business writing that are related to specific industries. So you have some examples here, and I'm going to put these two PowerPoints in the in Teams so you can look at them. But this is an example, and it's a really long project proposal. So don't think that this is what you're going to be writing, but it's a good example of a type of writing for business. This is a clinical report for a medical clinic. This is a grant proposal. So those are just some examples you can look at. You can also Google these terms and find tons of stuff out there that if you need to look at some examples. So your project requirements, you actually have two options, but they're both basically reports. So your report, regardless of which option you take, must be at least 400 words. Try not to go over that same 650 that I gave on the college application essay. It must be typed and double spaced. It cannot be in any cutesy font. You do not have to use Times New Roman, but it still should be 12 point and an easy to read font. So no cursive, no Comic Sans. It should be, Calibri, Times New Roman, Arabic, one of those easy to read, business appropriate fonts. And also black only. Do not type in color. It should include all the required information that's listed in the project proposal, and I'm going to show you that in a sec. Use formal language, proper grammar, spelling, punctuation. You will be graded on each aspect of these reports. So if your sentence structure is terrible, but you have all of the parts that are required, you're still going to lose points. So all of the grammar, spelling, all of that stuff matters. Have somebody proofread it. So that you know that at least two sets of eyes are going to catch more errors than just you doing it yourself. You can also use those same resources, Grammarly, PaperRater, the Word Editor. Those will all help you with your sentence structure, with your grammar, with your punctuation, with spelling. If you type something in Word and it's underlined in blue or red, you probably need to fix it. And to do that, if you just right click on the word that's underlined, it will give you some suggestions as to what you may need to do. Now, it does underline things like names it doesn't recognize, and those you can skip. But always check when you've got those words underlined in Word. Okay, project option 1. It's a grant proposal. So you're going to write a report proposing that the principal of RHS, which means you'll be directing this to Ms. Blair, fund a school improvement project. You'll come up with the project idea to present. And no, you're not actually presenting this to anybody. It's just a report. So the things you need to include, and you determine the headings, how you want to head this. You could just name it project description, parties involved, cost, outcomes, things like that. So who will be in charge of this project? Provide names and explain their roles. What? Explain the project. What benefit? What is the project? What benefit will the school or the students receive? What's the purpose? Why would anyone care about this idea? Be detailed and convincing. You're trying to make an argument to get this project approved. And then how do you plan to accomplish your goal? So what is it going to take, aside from money and approval, to accomplish this project? And then cost. And you may need to do a little bit of research on this, but research the cost of the type of project you're proposing. Explain in detail the expenses that'll be incurred and the purpose for each expense. List the expenses by category. So like if you're proposing a landscape project to improve the look of the school, so you'll have a category for materials, a category for labor, a category for maintenance, maybe long-term maintenance. and then you'll list the cost for the expected cost for each. You'll also need to identify whether there will be ongoing cost or if this is just a one-time expense. So, but when you do this project, you need to try to be realistic. So I want you to come up with a real project, something that you think would improve the school. So don't tell me you want to do, for example, you want to paint the school purple and gold or maroon and gold on the outside because you think it'll improve school spirit. That's not logical and probably not going to work. Or that you want to put, big yellow polka dots on the outside of it. Do something, come up with a proposal that you think is a legitimate school improvement plan. And research what those materials or resources would cost. Okay. So it should be logical. All right, your other option is a new business proposal. So you're going to pretend that you're starting a new business. You need to explain your business idea. You'll need to do some research, the advantages and disadvantages of this type of business. So, for example, if you wanted to start a new coffee shop, you're going to need to know what the advantages of that are and what the disadvantages. Is it a fad that's likely to fall off? Are coffee prices going up? Is the area already saturated with coffee shops? So the good and the bad for this type of business. Provide details that show why it's a great idea. If you're going to start a business, if you're looking at starting a business that is going to be like a retail business, you'll also need to make sure that you explain the location and why it's a great area. A market analysis, look at the competition for your type of business. And I would use Murfreesboro, just set it in Murfreesboro, come up with an idea for a business plan, and look at the competition for these types of businesses in Murfreesboro. And think about what about your business will make others want to pass by the competition and come to your location. Or if you're starting a plumbing company, why will they call you instead of ABC Plumber across town? Financing. How much money will you need? You may need to research startup cost for your type of business. This information is available on the internet. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it will give you some idea. What is your projected revenue? That's how much money is your business going to bring in. What is your projected net profit? That's the profit after your expenses. And what financial risk would you be taking or would you expect investors to take? And then the last part of that is marketing. How will people learn about your business? Social media, television, newspapers, whatever. Word of mouth, another type of marketing. So you will need to include all of this information in your project. Now, this one is both of these assignments, regardless of which one you do, they're due the 30th. Don't wait until the last minute to ask for help. Write a rough draft, have someone proofread it for you to help you improve your grade. Again, 100-point assignment. You can't afford a low grade. It's got to be turned in no later than 11:59 p.m. on October 30th. Feel free to turn these in early. Okay. Now, the nice thing about this business project is that you have a little bit of room for creativity, a little bit of freedom for formatting. As long as you have all of the parts that are required, then I'm not overly concerned about formatting as far as how you word the headings and things like that. But make sure it's laid out neatly. Everything is well written. You should have headings for each section of your project so that I know what each paragraph or what each part of the body of the report is going to be discussing. How you choose to label that is up to you. I'm going to leave that to you to be creative, but it needs to be professional and it needs to look like a miniature business report from a real company. Okay, so those are your two assignments. You have three options, I guess. You decide which one you're doing. Let me know when you have questions.